everybody, my name is Katie and today I've got a different sort of video for you all. It's not book related as such, but I just would like to share this experience with you of what I've been through throughout the past week or so. So on the 9th of November 2013 I came home from work. It was a Saturday and my nan told me that my dog was feeling unwell. He was not himself. He wasn't moving, he hadn't eaten, all he had done was manage to drink a little bit of water, and I could see he was honestly unwell. I gave him a few cuddles and then I went upstairs. The thing is, me and my nan didn't know if it was because of the fireworks, because we had a lot of fireworks that week. I don't know why people just can't have fireworks on firework night and that's it, but my dog absolutely hates fireworks and it could be why he was feeling really sick and put off from food, as he has done in the past. So I came downstairs later. He was laying on his seat and my nan tried to get him to move off the seat for him to go for a wee outside. When Woody eventually moved, I noticed there was a wet patch on the seat. I gave it a sniff and I discovered that it was urine. So I told my nan this. I said, he's weed the seat, he's never done this before, and he looked like he felt completely terrible about it. He was literally shivering and shaking. I was like, he's definitely unwell, he needs to be seen to. So we rung up the emergency vet. We explained everything that had happened and the vet said, yes, there's definitely something wrong, please come down and I will examine him. So 15 minutes later we went up to the vet's and the vet examined him and he discovered that there was a large swelling in Woody's anal gland, and he didn't know what it was. He said it could be an infection, it could be an abscess, or worst case it could be an anal gland tumour. And of course you don't want it to be the last one, but he wanted to perform a biopsy to discover exactly what it is. And unfortunately Woody's temperature was too high, so he had to give Woody some injections for his temperature to go down and to help him feel better. So the next day, Sunday, unfortunately I had work, but my aunt took my place and I came home from work to my nan telling me that his temperature was still too high for them to perform a biopsy. So she was given some drugs to give Woody along with his food. I must admit, Woody did seem a lot more perky on the Sunday, so I did have that hope inside me that this was working. Unfortunately, Monday came and I went downstairs and Woody just did not look like himself. He just looked like he had no life in him whatsoever and he was just dragging himself around the house. And I just burst into tears then and I said, Nan, something needs to be done about Woody. We went up to the vet's with his appointment that day and a different vet examined him and he said from his professional opinion it feels like it's an anal gland tumour. But he was so professional in how he said it. He said it in such a calming voice that even though he is literally saying the worst news ever, it did not affect us as bad, even though it is horrible. Woody looked at me with his cute little face and I had to look away because I just had tears in my eyes. I was just like, why you, Woody? You do not deserve this whatsoever. But the vet wanted to perform a biopsy to find out exactly what it is and to see if it is a tumour, if it has spread throughout his body. So we said goodbye and then we went down to the shops. I had to post an item and I went to the charity shop and I thought buying books maybe might make me feel a bit better, but it honestly didn't. Waiting at home was honestly the worst thing ever. It felt like time had literally stopped. But it was probably about an hour later when the phone call arrived, and you kind of want the phone to ring but at the same time you don't. But I could tell from my nan's response of the phone call that it was not good, and my nan told me that Woody had to be put to sleep, but he was under the anaesthetic of the drugs, so they were going to put him to sleep whilst he was under the drugs of being asleep. So we went up there and the vet asked my nan if she wanted to see the x-ray pictures and my nan said no, she couldn't bear to see them. But me being as curious as I am, I wanted to take a look, and the vet was explaining to me where the tumour was and where it had spread to, and I could not believe how big this tumour actually was, because he was saying by feeling it, it's just bigger than a chicken egg, and that is quite large really. And it had spread to the lower part of his chest, so pretty soon it would have started to affect his breathing, so he would have been coughing and sneezing, and it was just horrible. And he was just showing me like where the aggressive cells were and stuff, and I was just like, it's horrible to look at, but at the same time I did want to exactly see what had gone wrong with Woody because I didn't take the phone call, so I didn't exactly know what was going on. So we went back into the room, and my nan nodded to the vet that it was okay to put the injection in, and the vet was listening to his heart rate, and it must have been only about 10 seconds later when the vet nodded to say that Woody had passed. And in my head I just could not accept it. It was just so strange, but there I was, burst into tears, all snotty nose and everything, with this handsome vet in front of me, and I was just like, I don't know how you can deal with this, like putting so many animals down, because I wanted to be a vet when I was younger, and that's one reason why I didn't become one, because I don't think I could ever deal with that, because I love animals so much. And the vet actually responded saying, you don't ever learn to deal with it, you just do it so many times that you just get used to it, but you don't ever get over it. And I could honestly understand that, and I could see even in the vet's eyes that he was sad about it too. But the vet asked my nan what she'd like to do with Woody's ashes, and she said she would like them in a wooden box, and the vet said that would take about 7 to 10 days to happen. We got home and it literally felt like the world had ended. I felt like I wanted to jump off a cliff myself, because it was just the worst news and the worst thing to ever happen, and to happen so quickly like that, you just don't expect it. When you just think like 3 days before he was perfectly fine, he was running around happily, and for them to discover something like that, it's just so surreal and bizarre. It's absolutely crazy. When I started getting rid of some of Woody's stuff, she started to wash his bed, and she got rid of his food bowl, and just any sort of sign that he was there. The bed they used to lay on was actually a sofa bed, and she made it into an actual seat for the first time ever. It was just so weird, because it still felt like he was there. For the rest of that day, I literally cried all day. I had so many headaches, I had a blocked nose, I felt like shit. It was horrible. The next day is a Tuesday, and my nan and my aunt go food shopping, and I couldn't bear to be in the house alone, so I asked if I can come along. And it did pass some of the time, but I still didn't feel good at all. And even for the rest of the day, I just didn't feel like doing anything whatsoever, because I felt like if I wanted to do something that I would even remotely enjoy, it wouldn't be fair, because Woody had just passed. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair if you enjoy yourself if someone's just died, because you should be sad. You should mourn. And that's just like how my brain worked, and yeah. So for a few days I just didn't do anything at all. I was in a complete general slump of anything. And a friend of mine suggested, why don't you reread a book that you've read before and you absolutely loved? So I thought I'll give it a try. I have a look at all my books, and I decided to pick on Tommy Sullivan is a Freak by Meg Cabot. It's also known as Pants on Fire, and I read it when it first came out 6 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. And to be fair, as I started reading it, I did really enjoy that book, so it did actually help me get out of this reading slump and get back into reading again. And I've just been slowly reading one book at a time, rather than me just normally reading like 2-3 books at once. I've just been slowly getting back into reading again. But it's a completely horrible experience. Honestly, anybody that goes through it, I completely understand, and I feel so sorry for anybody that does. But I also want to say a massive thank you to everybody for your support, all of your tweets, your direct messages, your Facebook messages. Honestly, even a small message saying thinking of you or bless you, anything like that, it means so much. I was honestly not expecting that much support from everybody, and it has meant a great big deal. So thank you so much. Honestly, you have helped in a way, even though you might think, oh yeah, I'm not going to help, but it's just the thought that counts, that you spent the time to send me a message. It honestly means the world, and I just want to say a great massive thank you to everybody. And it's horrible. I mean, you might be thinking, oh yeah, you just lost a dog, whatever, but Woody was like a family member in my eyes. He was like a brother, he was like a best friend, he was part of our everyday routine. He always had the habit of running out to me every time I came home from work, and it was horrible the first Saturday where no one just came out running, and the house just feels empty now. It's horrible. It feels like he should be here, but he's not, and my mind will take a very, very long time to accept that. But when you lose your best friend, it is honestly the most horrible thing ever, because Woody was just the best dog ever. Even kids that were scared of dogs ended up loving Woody. He didn't chew on anything. He was so gentle and polite and trusting, and he was just perfect in my eyes. And the fact that he's gone, you know, it's not fair, but things in life happen. Unfortunately, that's life. Life likes to put shit on your shoulders, and you just got to learn and to deal with it. And you know, I'm an adult now. I should, you know, in my head I should not be dealing with all this crap, but even adults get it, just to prove it to you. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have, I'm so sorry it's been so long, but I did just want to share this experience with you guys, so at least you get to know the exact feelings, what I've been through. But honestly, thank you for watching. It does mean a lot that you have, and thank you for caring. But hopefully Fun Happy Katie will be back soon. Hopefully. I don't know how long it's going to take to get myself back, but I'm trying my best. Honestly, I'm trying. I promise I will try my best. Thank you for listening to my story, and I will see you next time. Bye.